So my name is Anke Mulder, and I work for a biotech provider, and I do strategy and marketing for a high-end electron microscopy product line. A lot of people seem to think that the time to seek out a career coach is if things are going poorly in one's career, and for me it was really the opposite. My career was going well, and I was getting noticed and making connections with leadership, and realizing that, especially since my background is technical, it's scientific in nature. I spent most of my career on the science side of things and not as much of it on the business side of things. I just recognized that I didn't have the experience and the skill set that people who have been in business longer have when it comes to leveraging the combination of performance and networking to accelerate my career. It was work, but it's work that I wanted to do, and it was personal growth and development type work, which I enjoy doing. And our original goal was just that she would help me better leverage the fact that I was being noticed as a high performer and that I was able to make a lot of good connections, leverage that to advance my career. She does a very good job of, no matter what the challenge or the problem is at hand that we're discussing, she's very good at identifying themes of behavior or concepts that are either there because of my personality or work history. She's very good at picking those out, no matter how far into the weeds we are on a particular problem, and tying it back to a theme of something we've been working on. She's very good about reminding me to be mindful of my core values, and in helping me realize how often a situation that feels challenging or full of conflict, how often I experience it that way because what is actually in conflict is something having to do with one of my core values, and it's a helpful way to approach business problems and life problems. It still feels like I still work with her. It feels like a personal trainer, right? But for my career instead of fitness. It has been incredibly beneficial. I think we've all heard sort of the cliche that what got you here won't get you to the next level. I knew even when I started working with Cynthia that my strength, which had gotten me to where I was in my career, which is to perform at a very high level and to be quite assertive and to be action-oriented and doing-oriented. I knew even before we started working together that that wouldn't get me to the next level, that what would get me to the next level is learning to do a lot less and say a lot less, so that when I do and when I say and when I speak up, it is more valuable. I knew that I needed to do that, but Cynthia is the person that helped me do it. And it's hard to put into words how big of an impact that has had. She and I have been working together for about a year, and the way in which I show up during work meetings and increasingly high-level leadership work meetings is night and day different from the way in which I showed up previously. When you're at a certain level in your career, you do kind of have to be very action-oriented. You have to speak up a lot to get yourself noticed. But then when you hit a certain point in your career, you actually need to dial that back a lot and really change your approach to being softer and more diplomatic. And that can be a really challenging thing to turn around, especially if you have my personality. The big aha for me is the magnitude of the impact that it has had, right? That doing less, if that's even the right way to put it, I actually get so much more out of meetings, out of work relationships, and I'm a lot more impactful because I speak up less. But when I speak up, it counts, and I'm adding value. It's absolutely worth the time and investment, as long as you're willing to also, you also get, I think, what you put in. It does require, putting in some what's the American expression, elbow grease. I have particularly appreciated her ability to, when you're trained in a technical or scientific discipline, you're trained very well on analytical analytical reasoning, critical thinking, and problem solving, which is good. It's a great skill to have, but that skill set does not apply to all situations. Even sometimes when what you think what you're trying to get done is a clear-cut result of an analytical process, you're usually also dealing with people. And there are a lot of nuances to that, that when you've spent most of your career training as a scientist or in a technical discipline, you're just not as skilled at. And Cynthia has been very helpful in helping me. It's not discard that skill set, but she's been helpful in helping me apply it to the workplace challenge that can be other human beings. I mean, that's really incredible, because I know I'm not the only scientist that for a long time felt, oh my gosh, there's no way I could navigate workplace politics well. Yeah, I definitely would recommend working with